What's going on, baseball fans? How are we doing? So in today's episode of playing MLB The Show, I'm going to fix one of the worst teams in baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's get to it. Okay, so starting things off, we have the exclusive free agent negotiations. So I have a few guys on here. We got Cole Calhoun, we got Tyler Clifford, Josh Reddick, Asdrubal Cabrera, and we got Brian Holiday. So the two guys that I'm looking at Tyler Clifford and Asdrubal Cabrera. If we take a look here, Josh Reddick, I mean, he did have a good season here, but you know what? He's 35 years old. I'm not really excited at the possibility of hanging on to an older outfielder like this. He's probably going to want some money. I mean, if we actually take a look here, what is he looking for? I mean, actually, he's not looking for a lot of money. But you know what? I don't know. I'm kind of looking elsewhere. I'm not feeling Josh Reddick right now. Sure, he's not really asking for a lot, but he's getting old. I'm going to look elsewhere. We're going to move on from Josh Reddick. So Cole Calhoun, on the other hand, if we take a look, not really a good season for him. Tyler Clifford, you know, he had a 5.47 ERA. Let's take a look at that FIP, a 4.77, a little bit better. He's getting kind of old. I don't know about Tyler Clifford. I mean, he's got a B potential. I mean, it could be a guy for middle relief. So I maybe don't mind. I mean, he's only asking for around $1 million per year. I can bump that up a little bit. I'll bring him up. I'll bring him back for middle relief. He did get 43 saves last year, so the ERA, I'm guessing he probably had a couple of bumpy outings that kind of skyrocketed that ERA. So we'll bring Tyler Clifford back. So I offered him something there, and I wouldn't mind actually as Asdrubal Cabrera. This guy can play a ton of different positions: first base, second base, short. He can play some third as well. So I don't mind bringing back Asdrubal Cabrera for a bench spot. This is a guy that can move around, so I think that versatility is going to be rather handy. So I'm going to offer him this deal here, just $1.5 million per year for 2 years. I'm okay with that. All right, so before we get to the free agents, let's take a look at kind of what the lineup's looking like right now. Another reason I forgot to mention with letting a Josh Reddick go, we got Pavin Smith. I mean, this guy I think is ready to take over. Only 26 years old. He had a pretty good season last year over the 146 games. He had a 290 batting average, a 364 on base. So I'm ready for Pavin Smith to take over for Josh Reddick there. So we got some guys here who I'm okay with. Ketel Marte, absolutely I'm okay with. Taking a look at his numbers last year, 272 average. 15 home runs, 61 RBIs, 13 stolen bases. So I'd like to see an uptick there. The guy's got great stats all across the board, or attributes, sorry. So Ketel Marte, absolutely okay with that. David Peralta, taking a look at how he did, a solid season for him out in left field. I'm okay with that. Carson Kelly, if we take a look here, he had a good offensive season as well. And with him, I'm okay with that fielding as well, 74 fielding, so that's fine with me. Christian Walker, if we take a look at him, only hit 224 last year, 12 home runs, 59 RBIs. I'm definitely looking for an upgrade at first base. I think with a Christian Walker, if we take a look as well, he's under control, so I could see a team wanting to go after a Christian Walker. And like I said, we brought back Asdrubal Cabrera. I think this is a guy I'm more going to lean towards having as like a utility guy off the bench. And Nick Ahmed, we got two. If we take a look at Nick Ahmed, he is an amazing fielder, has a 92 fielding, and but if we take a look at the stats for him, he had a bummer of a season, only hit 170 with a 268 on base. So when I'm looking at this lineup, I'm looking at shortstop. I want to make an upgrade at shortstop, and what better time we got an amazing shortstop class. So we're definitely going to take a look at some shortstops here. Going to look at some first basemen as well. There is an Anthony Rizzo on the market. Maybe we can maybe swing a deal for an Anthony Rizzo. Maybe we can go on the trade market as well. We'll have to take a look at that. And, you know, I'm okay with, you know, Josh Rojas. If we take a look at him, he was okay. I do like Josh Rojas. I like his versatility, so I think he's going to be a valuable piece to this team. Would really like for him to cut down on those strikeouts, though. But he did have a 362 on base last year, so I like that. I'm okay with Pavin Smith taking over. I'm okay with a Carson Kelly. I think those are fine. Moving on, let's take a look at the rotation. This is something we're definitely going to have to upgrade a little bit. Madison Bumgarner had himself a pretty good year last year. He's on a big contract here, so he's got, 3 more years left on this contract. So Zach Gallen, I am more than happy with having a Zach Gallen. Got Merrill Kelly. I think that's he's a decent guy for the rotation in the back end. We got Caleb Smith here. Yeah, you know, he's decent for a fourth guy. And then we got they had Taylor Widener in that 5th spot. And then for the bullpen, we had Bukowskis. I mean, we got Luis Frias, Crichton, we got Weems, Ginkel. Not the best numbers I'm seeing here. I mean, a 5.40 ERA. And then Clifford, it looks like, he had how many saves last year? I mean, there was a good amount of saves, 43 saves. He had 10 blown saves, though. So that's where I think Tyler Clifford's going to be better in like a middle relief, maybe like a setup kind of a role. So I think I'm going to look for a couple of bullpen arms. We're definitely going to, look for an upgrade in the rotation. Wouldn't mind that. So we got some shopping to do. So let's go take a look at the free agents. All right, so we got a lot of free agents here. I mean, this is a really good class this year. Clayton Kershaw. We got Rodon on there. Got Buster Posey. I mean, they were offered qualifying offers, so I have to wait and see how that goes. Marcus Semien, Trevor Story, Kimbrel's there. Could we bring Kimbrel in as maybe a closer? I mean, I think he could fit pretty well in Arizona. Maybe even a Trevor Story. I could see that being maybe a pretty decent option there. Would be, if we were to replace a Nick Ahmed, at least where we would be adding a Trevor Story, who he's still going to have that good defense. If you take a look at the fielding, he has an 82 fielding. Pretty down average right there. 229 average with a 318 on base, 24 home runs though, 86 RBIs. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have to think about it. We got a lot of other good shortstops here. If we take a look, you got Trevor Story, you got Javier Baez. So it looks like Carlos Correa. It looks like, Corey Seager probably re-signed with their team. So we got a couple of options here. We got Miguel Rojas, Andrelton Simmons is there. So we'll have to take a look. But let's see if we can start throwing out some offers. So first up, I'm going to try and see if we can get a starting pitcher here. We need to get another big arm alongside a Madison Bumgarner or Zach Gallen. We need a third guy here. I mean, you got someone like a Carlos Rodon, but he's asking for $31 million per year. I don't know about that. Clayton Kershaw, what's he looking for? He's actually not looking for a pretty expensive contract, only $17 million per year. Kershaw, though, 34 years old. He's had some durability issues in the past, so I don't know. I'm maybe a little bias on my end here, but I'm seeing an Eduardo Rodriguez here. He's looking for $20 million. Had himself a good year last year, a 3.44 ERA. When I'm looking at the rotation, I'm thinking of a guy like a Zach Gallen really taking over as the ace of that staff. So, I mean, sure, it would be nice to maybe go after a guy like a Carlos Rodon, but I could see myself getting someone like an Eduardo Rodriguez. He has an A potential too, so that overall definitely could keep going higher. So I think for me personally, I think Eduardo Rodriguez actually realistically makes a lot of sense. $20 million per year, based off of, what pitchers are making these days. I think that's actually, pretty fair for a pitcher. So I'm going to offer him. So if I actually lower the money, I'm going to kind of go around 75% interest here. Let's see if maybe we can, I don't know, I'll go $95 million. I'll go $19 million per year. So that looks like it's around 75% interest. So I'll make that offer. So far, we have the best offer out there for Eduardo Rodriguez. And if we take a look at the shortstops here, I mean, it would be nice to go after a guy like a Trevor Story. I mean, sure, he had himself a down year, but he has a good track record. I think he could be a good fit. Let's see what he's actually looking for. He's actually not looking for a lot of money, $14.3 million per year. I think that'd be a pretty nice bat in the middle of that lineup, and he's going to give you some good defense as well. We could ship a Nick Ahmed off somewhere else. I'm sure a team would be interested in a Nick Ahmed. Maybe get an arm for the bullpen, maybe an arm for the rotation. So I'm going to offer Trevor Story a little something here. I'm going to go around, I'm going to go 5 years, 70 for a Trevor Story, $14 million per year. Let's see if he accepts that. And we landed our guy, Trevor Story, a 229 average last year. But you know what? I'm confident that he's going to get that back up. He had the 24 home runs, the 86 RBIs. I'm liking Trevor Story as our shortstop because also 20 steals as well. But this is going to make Nick Ahmed expendable. So we're going to see if we can make a deal somewhere for a Nick Ahmed. But we're still awaiting on Eduardo Rodriguez. And we landed Eduardo Rodriguez. Pretty excited about this. We got two really solid lefties right here in the middle of the rotation behind Zach Gallen. So I'm pretty happy with Eduardo Rodriguez coming to the Diamondbacks here. I think it's going to be a lift for this rotation. So we can also check. We still got Anthony Rizzo out here. There's also a Kyle Schwarber who could play some first base, and he's someone that can play in the outfield as well, both corner outfield spots. If we take a look, pretty decent year. 252, 19 home runs, 56 RBIs, 341 on base. Kyle Schwarber might actually be a decent addition. If we take a look here, where could maybe someone like a Kyle Schwarber fit? I mean, you could put him out in, I don't know, maybe you could. I mean, I like David Peralta. He played 143 games last year, injury prone, but he's been able to stay on the field. So I'm okay with keeping a David Peralta. I just like that power bat of a Kyle Schwarber. I'm okay with Pavin Smith. I'm okay with going with the youth route there. You could maybe insert a Schwarber at first. I'd be okay with that. And I wouldn't mind another left-handed bat. We do got 3 of them already with a Rojas, a Pavin Smith, and a Peralta. So that's something to think about. There is also Anthony Rizzo too. I wouldn't mind one of those guys. I think that would be pretty nice. And again, we did get Trevor Story, so let me actually put him in this lineup. So Trevor Story, I'm actually really liking this. So you could put him, maybe 4th. You could put Peralta 5th. I'm okay with that. And then Carson Kelly. You can put him in the 6th spot. And then I think we're going to find a deal for a Christian Walker. I'm going to see if there's anyone out there that would want to take him. And then again, definitely looking for a Nick Ahmed. So Nick Ahmed and a Christian Walker. Going to see what kind of deals I can get for them. But so far, I'm liking the addition of a Trevor Story here at short. Got ourselves an all-star player. So let's see what kind of deals we could do for Nick Ahmed, maybe a Christian Walker. And then I'm also going to keep my eye on Anthony Rizzo and Kyle Schwarber as well. Not having fully decided if I want to make an offer to either of those guys. So I decided to see what it would take to get a Kyle Schwarber, and he's actually not asking for a lot of money here, only $7 million per year, and he actually wants less years. It first popped out 5 years for me, and as I decreased the years, his interest grew. So I think I would like to have a Kyle Schwarber for a couple years, so I'm definitely going to make an offer for him. And also, I'm a goof, and I didn't realize that they had closing pictures as another category. I'm a little new to MLB The Show, so I didn't realize they had relief pitchers in a separate bracket than the closing pictures. So I'm seeing a couple of guys on here. Kirby Yates, I'm not really, I don't know. He seems like he hasn't had his mojo since 2019, had the injury problems last year. But I do see Roberto Osuna. Listen, I understand this guy's had his problems, off the field in the past. But you know what? I'm trying to fix the Diamondbacks here. I'm trying to make a run for the playoffs. I'm going to offer something for Roberto Osuna. So far, it looks like the best deals that he's getting. I mean, you also have to think here, he's 27 years old. But he's getting a couple of 3-year offers, a 2-year offer. I'm seeing 3 years for 5.7. I'm going to go 3 years at 6. I'm going to see if maybe that can get it done. He's actually really interested in that, but I'm not going to offer him that much. I mean, no way. So, I mean, his interest really dive bombs. I mean, so $4.7 million per year. I don't know. Would he do it? Actually, 2-year deal, he'd actually be really interested in. So let's see how much less money. So we're like, again, I want to stick around like the 75% interest rate, 3/4 of the way full. I could see a 2-year, $7.5 million. Let's make him that offer. So far we have the best offer for a Roberto Osuna. So I got a couple offers out here. Let's see what ends up happening. And we landed Kyle Schwarber. He's going to be our first baseman. So let's go plug him in now. Let's go see what this lineup is looking like. Really happy with that addition of Kyle Schwarber. So he's going to go in at first base. He's going to be a bat, probably in the 5 hole for me. Even some days could bat second, but I'm definitely stoked about adding a Kyle Schwarber. Good on base. He's going to give you some power, and I like that. It's going to make Christian Walker expendable for a trade. I think we probably should be able to at least get a relief pitcher for him, maybe even a starter, something like that. But I really like Kyle Schwarber in this spot here at first base. Really liking it. We could make an upgrade at third. I mean, right now we have Asdrubal Cabrera penciled in. You could put someone like a Nick Ahmed there. He could move over. But again, I'm not really happy with the offensive production from him. So right now, I think I'm actually going to turn my eye or set my eyes on another third baseman and upgrade. So if we end up getting another third baseman, we're going to have a whole new left side of the infield. We're going to have practically a brand new infield. We're going to have Trevor Story, Kyle Schwarber, And I like Asdrubal Cabrera. I want him on the team, but I'm thinking more of him as a utility kind of a guy off the bench. So let's go. So we got a couple of things more to do. We could add another starter, but that's not my top priority right now. We got Eduardo Rodriguez. I definitely want to add some bullpen arms. We need to make a couple of trades for some guys. I definitely think we should be able to get someone. And third base, I think, could be an upgrade as well. Okay, so I've been looking through some trades, and I stumbled upon one trade here. I'm looking for a guy for the bullpen, and I'm looking here. The Astros, they are not asking for too much when it comes for a Ryan Pressly. Ryan Pressly, 33 years old. He's a B potential. They're asking for Taylor Widener and a Dalton Varsho. If we go take a look here, I feel like these are two guys that I'm okay with parting with. I mean, sure, Taylor Widener, he's, starting pitcher. That's some depth. He wasn't great last year, so I'm okay with parting with him. I do like Dalton Varsho. I like, in real life, I actually think he's, a pretty good bat. But when it comes to here, he just hasn't really panned out really too much with the Diamondbacks. And I don't know. Looks like in this game, the Astros, they like something with these two guys, and they're offering Ryan Pressly. And I don't know. Maybe they're looking to part with some salary, but I'm okay with doing this. So for me, we are absolutely going to do this trade. I would love to get a Ryan Pressly for the bullpen. So we have definitely addressed another need. So if we take a look here at the depth chart, we got a pretty decent looking bullpen right now. We got two former Astros here, Ryan Pressly, Roberto Osuna, moving over to Arizona. And again, if we're taking a look here at, we got some guys who are pretty decent middle relief. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to make Pressly the closer right now. I'm going to make Roberto Osuna one of the setup guys. And I'm liking some of this. I got Tyler Clifford there for middle relief now, so I think that's going to put him in a better position to succeed. We got a Christian as well. We got a couple of decent arms. I'm not done with this bullpen just yet. I still want to add some guys, but pretty stoked with adding a Ryan Pressly for the bullpen here. All right, so I have a trade here for Nick Ahmed. This is probably the best deal that I've been offering. I'm guessing that bad season that he had in 2021. I'm not really getting the best offers for him. This is the best one by far. I'm getting offered from the San Francisco Giants, Dominic Leone, relief pitcher, C potential, 29 years old. What I like about him, he's got good velocity and he's got good break, an 89 velocity, 88 break, and he's got an 80 hit per nine as well. So 70 home run per nine, pretty stoked with that. Didn't have the best season last year, a 4.77 ERA, but I mean, hey, this guy had 25 holds last year. I'm thinking here with a Dominic Leone, this is going to be another guy for middle relief. I'm okay with that. We're getting a pitching prospect as well. If we take a look at Marcos Gutierrez, only a C potential, but, he's got a 73 velocity. He's got a 70 walk per nine. This could be, just some starting pitching depth for the organization. I'm going to bite on this. I really want to add some relievers to this bullpen. Okay, so I've been looking for some trades for Christian Walker, and no one's really biting on him. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to attach a prospect here. And one guy, when I'm looking at the Diamondbacks top prospects here, I don't want to part with a Corbin Carroll. Don't want to part with an Alec Thomas. I got Blake Walston here. I got Ryan Nelson. I got Jarvis even. We got Saccone. One guy who hasn't really panned out too much for the Diamondbacks is Corbin Martin. He's the number 11 prospect as of right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach Martin and see if any trades come up. Alrighty, everyone. So we just completed a big trade. So I was able to attach Corbin Martin, the number 11 prospect, with Christian Walker, and he's going to the Yankees, and I was able to get Gio Urshela and Reggie Mclean. This is a big upgrade for our lineup right now. If we take a look here, Gio Urshela in at third base, so that's going to move Asdrubal Cabrera to the bench. I think that's going to be a better spot for him because he can move around the infield, so he'll be a good guy off the bench here. Gio Urshela hit 249 last year, 24 home runs, 85 RBIs. I love this addition of a Gio Urshela, and now our lineup is really starting to look pretty decent. We got some guys that can hit for power, some guys that can hit for some average as well. Really liking the way this lineup is starting to shape up. And then we also got Reggie Mclean as well. Whoops, wrong button. But Taking a look at Reggie Mclean, so this will be a bullpen guy. He's a B potential right now. So right now we're gonna put him in AAA, see how he does. He's 27 years old, a 64 overall, but he's got good velocity and he's got good break. He's got a 97 break. So liking this trade, we're able to get a solid third baseman in Shella. Sure, we were able to part. We had to part with the Corbin Martin, but sure, I would love to have that, but we got other pitchers in our farm system that I think that are going to end up turning out better than a Corbin Martin. And Christian Walker had no spot on this team now that we've added some guys, and now Shella, he slides perfectly in to third base. Really liking that. I'm thinking really the only other kind of a move I would like to make is maybe another bullpen guy, someone like a Pedro Strop, who didn't even pitch last year, but I could see, maybe something like him for middle relief. So it looks like I have to cut down on the roster, but I'm going to, cut down on the roster a little bit, maybe just add one more bullpen guy, and then we're going to go to the next season. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the offseason here. I'm going to go into the 2022 season with what we have. Here's the rotation. We got Gallen at the top, Rodriguez at the number 2, Bumgarner at number 3, Merrill Kelly at number 4, and Caleb Smith at number 5. And in the bullpen, we got Ramirez and Ginkel in long relief. We got Crick, Clifford, and Strop in middle relief, and we got Osuna, Leone, and Presley. So for the lineup, actually really liking what this lineup is starting to look like. We got Trevor Story here, Josh Rojas, Shella, Kyle Schwarber, David Peralta, Carson Kelly, Ketel Marte is definitely going to go up higher than that. I'm probably going to put Ketel Marte leading off. Probably Trevor Story in the 2-hole. I think that might be a good spot for him. Or Shella at number 3, Schwarber at number 4. I'm going to put Pavin Smith up higher. I think that's a good spot for him. Maybe the 7, maybe the 6-hole. Actually, I might maybe move. We got a lot of lefties in this lineup, but that's okay. But I'm liking the lineup that we have. So off the bench, Asdrubal Cabrera actually got hurt during spring training, so we do not have Asdrubal Cabrera as of right now. But off the bench, we got Michael De La Cruz as the backup catcher, Josh Van Meter. Infielder, Stuart Fairchild is going to be our backup outfielder, and Andy Young, another infielder as well. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to simulate the season, and I'm going to simulate it to July. We're going to see how we're doing up to that point. Okay, so we have reached the trade deadline. Not a great month overall, kind of even on the month. So we're 53 and 44 as of right now. We have dropped all the way to 11 games back, so that's not going to help anything with the division. But with the wild card, we're still 2 back in that wild card. We're hanging tough here, even after not a great month. So let's see maybe where we can make some upgrades. All right, so I'm on the trade block, and we got some usual faces that we've been seeing in past years on this trade block. Joey Gallo sitting there at the top. That could be some power that we could add. I would love a Brian Reynolds on this team. Under control, 88 overall. What an addition that would be. He's having a pretty decent season. I might look into a Brian Reynolds, especially if we can get a guy that's under control like that. Cedric Mullins is on the trade block. Wouldn't mind him. I'm guessing he's going to take a little bit. Sandy Alcantara, that could be a pretty decent addition to the rotation. A 2.42 ERA. John Means is out there. Hassan Kim, Odor, got Gavin Lux, Brantley. So I'm going to look through these guys, see if there's anyone that I like, someone that could be an upgrade for this team. Okay, so we have a trade here for Brian Reynolds. It's going to cost a little something. As much as I don't want to sacrifice the future, to be able to get a guy like a Brian Reynolds who's having a good year and he's been just really good for the last few seasons and he's under control, it's definitely going to cost a little something. So we're going to have to offer up Alec Thomas, Geraldo Perdomo, and Tristan English. So if we go to our top prospects, Alec Thomas is number 3, Geraldo Perdomo is number 9. I'm okay with parting with him because we have Story locked up for a little bit. And I'm okay with parting with an Alec Thomas because at least we're going to be getting a Brian Reynolds. And I think with a Tristan, who is this again? It was Tristan English. He's not even on our top 30. So I'm okay with this. I think this is a pretty fair trade. And for the Pirates, who are rebuilding. You're getting a couple of solid prospects here. So we're going to get this done. We're bringing in Brian Reynolds. This team is good. We're in contention. We're getting an outfielder under control. So let's go put him into our lineup and let's kind of just see what our lineup's looking like right now. So what this is going to mean is now David Peralta, I think we're going to see if we can move David Peralta here. We're going to have Brian Reynolds take over in left. Brian Reynolds actually has an 82 field. So with Brian Reynolds, he can play all outfield spots. So Ketel Marte is an 81 field, so might actually put Brian Reynolds, maybe let's see Pavin Smith. Pavin Smith has a 61 field and a 50 arm, while Reynolds is better. So I'm going to move Brian Reynolds to right, and we're going to put Pavin Smith out in left. So that's going to improve our defense. We're going to move this around. We're going to move these guys around into their spots, and then I'm going to see if there's a trade that we can make for a David Peralta. Okay, so we have a trade here for David Peralta, and we could use a lefty in that bullpen. And Andrew Miller, the Cardinals are offering him. He's having a good year, a 2.42 ERA. Would definitely love to have a lefty arm. He's 36 years old. Both of these guys are on the last years of their deal. Or the last years of their contracts. So it says here the Cardinals are looking for a left fielder. They're definitely interested in making this trade. I need some, I like how the bullpen's been performing, but I would love to add a lefty arm in there. So let's get this deal done. Andrew Miller coming to the Diamondbacks. Okay, so we are finished with the season. Unfortunately, not good enough to make the playoffs. Pretty surprised. I thought our lineup was really good, but we did finish 87 and 75. So let's go take a look here. I mean, it looks like we were probably right there. Taking a look at the standings. So yeah, we were one game out of a playoff spot. Braves and the Phillies got the two wild cards there. So a little disappointing. I thought this team was actually really good. If we take a look here at how these guys did this year, Brian Reynolds ended up finishing with 30 home runs. So that's going to be a guy we have for next year. Ketel Marte, not the year I was expecting. So I don't know about Ketel Marte there. That's kind of a whatever kind of a year, especially considering he's an 86 overall. So I don't know. Maybe we could see if we can maybe make an upgrade right there with a Ketel Marte. Kyle Schwarber was awesome this year for us. 37 home runs, 274 average. Trevor Story ended up finishing with a good year. Got off to a slow start, but he was a good pickup for us. Pavin Smith, a really good season for him. Gio Shella ended up being a nice pickup as well. Carson Kelly did fine. Josh Rojas did fine. Overall, I thought this team was very good. Taking a look at the rotation, so Zach Gallen ended up kind of struggling down the stretch. He had good numbers, but they ended up finishing with a 4.26 ERA. Eduardo Rodriguez had a good year. Madison Bumgarner was okay. Merrill Kelly ended up struggling down the stretch. Caleb Smith ended up finishing with a really solid year. So if we take a look at the bullpen, I mean, these guys had good numbers all across the board. All the ERAs were fantastic. So it looks like where we struggled was the starting rotation. So definitely need to make an upgrade here. We're going to go after a guy in free agency, a starting pitcher. I think that's going to be the key for this team. And just in case you were wondering, in the year 2022, the Blue Jays beat the Phillies in the World Series. So Blue Jays fans, be happy about that. Okay, so these are our free agents. Ryan Presley, he had a good year for us. To be honest with you, I mean, I really want to bring him back. He had a good year for us. He had 59 saves this year. So Ryan Presley, I am going to bring you back on. I'm going to see if I don't know how old is he now? 34. So I don't know, maybe a 2-year deal. Maybe he takes a little bit more money. I'll go 9. What is it? He's looking at probably 9.3. I'll go 9.5, making an even number. I would love to have Ryan Presley back. Dominic Leone. Let's see here. So he had a 2.55 ERA. We traded for him last offseason. He ended up being really good for us. I don't want to do a 5-year deal, but I can do a 2-year deal. I think that could work out. Maybe even just a 1-year deal. I'm actually okay with that. Let's go 1 year. Looks like about $4 million is a sweet spot. We'll do that. Andrew Miller performed well for us down the stretch. I would love to have an Andrew Miller. So let's see, 1 year, maybe. So he's looking at $4.5 million. I'm okay with that. Pedro Strop, I'm okay with probably letting go. He's a 66 overall. He does have a B potential. He ended up finishing the year with a 4.41 ERA. Yeah, I'm okay with moving on from a Pedro Strop. We can get someone else. But yeah, so If we take a look at the staff, we need a manager and we need a third base coach. So Torey Lovullo, his contract is over. But I'm thinking, to get this team to the next level, it looks like maybe we need some guys, or we need a new manager to kind of get this team to the next level. There's a Kevin Cash right here. Dave Roberts could maybe be a decent pickup. You got Kevin Cash. Dave Roberts might be a pretty decent one here. So he's going to add +2 power, +3 arm accuracy. It looks like he's going to add more offense. I would like to add someone who's going to be helpful with the pitching. Okay, so some big news. I decided to offer a contract to Dave Roberts. He has accepted a 3-year deal. That's a big move. Dave Roberts, Dodgers fans, I know you're not the biggest fan of Dave Roberts, but in this game, he's going to add some attributes. So I think that's going to help push our team to the next level. But we also got Damon Odell. I decided to fire the old pitching coach. And we need to step up with the pitching. So we got Damon Odell. He's going to add some good attributes. He's an A overall. So liking that. So just got to find another third base coach, and then we'll be good to go with the coaching staff. So I decided to go with Brandon Hyde. That's the same last name as me. That seems to make a lot of sense. So he's going to add some fielding. He's also going to add some speed and durability as well. So really liking our coaching staff. If we go take a look here, so Dave Roberts is now our manager, an A attribute grade. We got James Scarafoni. So that's going to be good as well. Like I said, we added Damon Odell, so he's going to add clutch, control, Ks per 9, and walks per 9. David Dodge, that's fine as our first base coach. Brandon Hyde is going to be our third base coach. And Tom Cortez, I'm fine as the farm director. So let's move on to free agency. We need some pitching. Let's go do it. All right, so we got some beef on the free agent market here. We got guys like Aaron Judge, Trey Turner. We got Byron Buxton out here, Joey Gallo. Let's kind of go through this. So starting pitching, that's what we're really going to be looking for. I mean, we really have some guys here. Noah Syndergaard, I'm pretty sure he did pretty good. Yeah, 3.32 ERA. So Jose Barrios is a free agent. He was really good last year with the Toronto Blue Jays. They won the World Series, so he was key. But man, oh man, would he look good in a Diamondbacks uniform. What is he looking for? Of course, he's looking for a huge contract. I don't want to pay a ton of money. But if I were to pay, for a guy like him, he's 28 years old. That might be a decent contract. Nathan Eovaldi's a free agent. He did pretty good last year, a 3.01 ERA. Wouldn't mind maybe a Nathan Eovaldi. I think that could actually be pretty good. Jose Barrios would be a huge addition. If we take a look, let's go take a look at our budget as of right now. So as of right now, we're looking pretty good. I mean, we got a lot of budget available, 60.5 million. So I'm okay with that. But, to me, I want to win. We're trying to win here. And you know what? We need a guy for that rotation. So I think our main priority here is we need to get one of these starting pitchers. I feel like a Jose Barrios. The guy's young. It's gonna take a lot to get him. But let's see if we can tempt him to come to Arizona. So let's take a look at some of these guys that we brought in. So a lot of these guys here that are signed were just through arbitration, but let's take a look at some of the free agents. I brought in Max Scherzer to finish off his career in Arizona, finish it off where it started. I really tried for Jose Barrios. He ended up taking a better offer to go to Kansas City. So Max Scherzer, he's only an 81 overall, but he's got an A potential. Hey man, this is a guy where get to the postseason. He can help you get to the postseason, and he can help you win in the postseason as well. I brought in an Austin Hedges to be our backup catcher. He's going to provide some amazing fielding, a good arm. I also brought in a Brock Holt. He's going to be our utility guy off of the bench. And I believe that was it. Oh, I also brought in a Roman Quinn. He's going to be a backup outfielder for us. That's going to add some defense and some speed out there, a good arm as well. So overall, I definitely really wanted a top tier starting pitcher like a Jose Barrios for a long-term deal. But hey, the fact that we're able to get someone like Max Scherzer to come back where he started, finish off his career in Arizona, and he's going to be a strong addition for the rotation. So let's see if this ends up getting us to the postseason. Okay, so we are at the All-Star break, and we are in first place, 58-33 on the year, 4 games ahead of the Dodgers. We're having a very good season so far, way better than where we were last year. So we've gotten better at this point for the last 2 seasons. So if we had to go take a look at the numbers really quick, Brian Reynolds having a very good season, hitting 21 home runs so far through the All-Star break with a 275 average. Ketel Marte continues to just not be too effective. Only a 255 average, 8 home runs, 29 RBIs. Kyle Schwarber, the average is a little more down than it was last year, but he's still providing power. Trevor Story having a good year for us. Gio Urshela, a typical Gio Urshela kind of a year, but he's already at 20 home runs through the All-Star break. Pavin Smith, decent year so far. Carson Kelly, he's been fine. Josh Rojas, he's been fine for the most part. Hey, Roman Quinn off the bench has been really good. Austin Hedges, he's been providing some defense. Brock Holt's been okay off the bench. So really liking what we've been doing so far in this lineup. If we take a look at the rotation, Zach Gallen, ERA under 4. Eduardo Rodriguez continues to be a really good signing for us. Max Scherzer has been awesome for us this year. Madison Bumgarner has been good. Merrill Kelly's been good. So it looks like the key for our team this year was this rotation. I feel like the lineup is very similar to what it was last year. You can even argue that the way the lineup was performing last year was better than how it's doing this year as a whole, but the starting rotation has been awesome. As of right now, this bullpen continues to thrive. Ryan Presley, a 1.98 ERA. Andrew Miller, 2.70 ERA. Roberto Osuna has been awesome. Ginkel is really struggling, so we're probably going to have to make a move there. I feel like we need some help in this bullpen a little bit, so I'm going to make some adjustments, and then we're going to keep going. Okay, so we're at the trade deadline, kind of looking at what we got here. Honestly, with the lineup, I'm fine with it. I mean, I could maybe make an upgrade with Ketel Marte. I'm going to stick with him. I mean, the guy's an 86 overall. I don't really see a need to really move on from him. The lineup as a whole has been performing very well. If we take a look at the rotation, Zach Gallen continues to do well. Rodriguez, Scherzer, Bumgarner, Kelly, they're all doing really well in the rotation. If anything, I would like to upgrade the bullpen. Clifford, he's been pitching well since coming up, and not really worried about him. Leone's been fine. Crick, hey, he's pitched a lot of innings out of this bullpen so far. Could use maybe another reliever here. The back end has been really good. Reggie Mclean, he's been kind of whatever in that long relief role. Noe Ramirez has been fine. So what I'm actually just going to do, I'm going to put Noe Ramirez in middle relief, put Kyle Crick in long relief, and I'm going to go look for a relief pitcher for this bullpen. Okay, so I decided to pull the trigger on Blake Treinen. He has a 4.09 ERA on the year, but if you take a look at his FIP, it's a 2.97. So Blake Treinen, he's going to be a solid addition to this bullpen. I'm just going to slot him into middle relief as of right now. I'm going to send Kyle Crick down because this bullpen is just way too full. So Kyle Crick, he's the odd man out here. Blake Treinen is in. Really liking this bullpen. Overall, I think we are set for a good run in the second half. Okay, so some good news. We ended up finishing second in the National League West. We actually tied for second with the Padres. So we're going to have the Diamondbacks and the Padres in the wild card game. So taking a look at the bracket. So let me actually go to the standings here. Let's just take a look at how everything ended this year. What a season. I mean, we've gotten better. We were how bad in the year 2021 and then 2022. Last year, we won 87 games, and now we're up to 96 games. So we have definitely improved this Diamondbacks team. I think we have a very talented squad. But the Dodgers winning the West, and then Diamondbacks, Padres for the wild cards. And then for the Central, we had the Cardinals. And then for the East, we had the Phillies. And in the American League, the wild card teams were the A's and the Yankees. Winning the West was the Astros. The Central going to the White Sox, and the Red Sox winning the East. So, taking a look at the brackets, we have the White Sox, Red Sox first round, and then the winner of the Yankees and the A's will go on to face the Astros in the first round. In the National League, we have the Phillies and the Cardinals, and then the winner, we'll have an all-West division series against the Dodgers, so the Padres and the Diamondbacks in the wild card game. So let's go take a look at this game. So I know I just said Max Scherzer, but actually he finished cold to end the season. So I mean, we're gonna go with our ace here. We're gonna go with Zach Gallen, who's had a really good year this year. 11-11 on the year, but a 3.43 ERA, 191 strikeouts through 191 and 2/3 innings. I could go with an Erod as well, who was 14-10. Very similar numbers, but to me, me, I'm going to go with Zach Gallen. That's our guy. And if we need to, we'll go with an Erod. We can go to any of these guys here. So Zach Gallen for me gets the nod. And here we go. We're up 6-4. I'm going to bring in Presley. That's been our guy. Here we go. Taking a look, gives up the base hit here. Wilmer Defoe is up. Fielder's choice. There we go. Strikes him out. 2 outs. Gets a base hit. Here we go. We got the go-ahead run at the plate in a Will Myers. And we have won the wild card game, and we are moving on to face the Dodgers in the first round. Absolutely stoked right now. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Let's bring on the Dodgers, baby. We have swept the Dodgers, and we're going to be advancing to take on the Phillies, who won the World Series last year. So in the NLCS, we have the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. If we take a look at the rest of the bracket, so right now they're still trying to figure out over in the American League. So let's see how this ends up shaping up here. Let's take a look. Who is going to be in the ALCS? The Red Sox moving on to the ALCS. Who are they going to play? They are going to play... they're going to be playing Houston. So our final 4, we have the Red Sox, Astros, and the Phillies, Diamondbacks. So let's take a look against the Phillies here. So I'm going to go game 1 here. So we just went with the Zach Gallen. So I think game 1, I don't see why we don't go with an Eduardo Rodriguez. Max Scherzer has been cold, but I'm going to save him for a game 3. Madison Bumgarner will go game 2. Or, well, actually, I don't know. Do I want to go back-to-back lefties? No, you know what? I'll save Bumgarner for game 3. Bumgarner, hey, big game picture. If he goes game 3, ends up going game 7, I'm okay with Madison Bumgarner in a game 7. So let's simulate this. Let's see how it goes. So let's simulate the first 2 games here. So we have a tied series as of right now, tied 1-1. Let's sim the next 2. We are up 3-1 on the Phillies. Here we go. We have made it to the World Series. We're going to be taking on the Astros or my Red Sox. So let's see. Who are we going to end up playing in the World Series? Oh, man, I can't believe it. We made it to the World Series in the 2nd year of doing this. Are you kidding me? So it's going to be the Diamondbacks and the Astros. So as of right now, I got Merrill Kelly going game 1. Don't want Merrill Kelly going game 1. So let's change up the rotation here. So Zach Gallen, he's going to go here. I'm going to go Eduardo Rodriguez for game 2. Let's go. I'll go Max Scherzer for game 3, Madison Bumgarner for a game 4, and that should be good. So here we go. Let's do this again. Zach Gallen, Noah Syndergaard, game 1. Let's simulate that. We have won game 1. We have won game 2. We are 2 wins away from a World Series. We have won game 3. Oh my. Oh, lose game 4. We have done it. We have won the World Series in the first ever episode of doing a rebuild. We have gotten the Diamondbacks to win the World Series in 2 years. This team was just so bad. We ended up making a lot of good moves. I got so excited I dropped my controller. Well, we had to make a lot of key moves with this Diamondbacks team. We had to give up some prospects along the way. We had to make the key here were some free agents, some big trades, and hey, just sticking with some of our core guys as well. In the end, hey, I am stoked. Winning the World Series here in year number 2. So, yeah, couldn't be happier. But that's it for episode 1 of doing these MLB The Show rebuilds. Let me know what you think down below. Would you have made any different moves? Would you have done anything differently? Let me know down below. But that's all I have for right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.